Hello everyone, welcome once again to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a dashiki shirt for male. So these are the measurements and all the materials you'll be needing. So first thing first, you fold your fabric using the biggest part. The biggest part in this case is the shoulder plus the sleeve. Remember, it's a cut together sleeve. The shoulder and the sleeve will be together. That's what makes it a dashiki. So you fold using the biggest parts. In this case is the shoulder plus the sleeve. So I'm going to fold as you can see me doing. Then I'll take my round shoulder to shoulder, which is 20 inches. So I'll divide that 20 inches by 2. Then I'm going to add the sleeve with the shoulder to shoulder. It's cut together with the sleeve with the shoulder. So I took my sleeve, my shoulder to shoulder. Then I'm going to add my sleeve. So it depends on how wide or how long you want your sleeve to be. I want the sleeve to be small. I don't want it to be too long. So that's why I'm using 8 inches. So I added 10 plus 8, which will give me 18. So in full, total length is 18. So I'm just going to fold and cross check. Then I'll take my full length. My length for the front is 34. The front and the back are not the same. The back length is 38 while the front is 34. This is how to cut for the male. For the female is not the same thing. This is how to cut for the male. So I'm just going to take the measurements and be sure it corresponds before I'll cut this out. So I'm cutting the front first before I'll go to the back. So I'm just going to cut the front like so. I've gotten my length and the width. So the length 34, the width 18. So I'm just going to mark like so and keep this aside. So let's cut for the back. So to cut for the back, I'm just going to fold like so, fold into 2 as you can see me doing, but the length will not be the same with the front. Remember, the front is short while the back is long. So I'm going to take my 18 inches for the width of the back. The only difference between the front and the back for the cutting is the length. So the back length will be long while the front will be short. 34 while the back 38. So I'm just cross checking first to be sure I'm accurate before I'll cut. So I'll take my 18 inches like so width, then the length 38. So I'm on the right part. I'm just going to mark like so and I'll trim out the excess that will be remaining. So the length, like I said, is 38 for the back. So I'm just going to mark my 38. Remember, 34 for the front, then you add 4 inches to it, which will give you 38. So I'm just going to mark like so and mark to the extreme end to be sure that it's a straight line. So I'm just going to mark like so. Then I'll cut this out. So after cutting, I'll be placing the front on top of the back. So the back will be under while the front will be on top of it. So cutting a male dashiki and a female dashiki is not the same thing, guys. So I'm just going to cut this out like so. So after cutting this dashiki, I'll be taking it to the embroiderer to do the remaining job. So I'm going to place the front like so. If you noticed, at the extreme end, you can see that they are equal, but the down part is not equal. You can see the back is longer than the front when placed on top of when the front is placed on top of the back. So at this extreme end, I'm going to do my shoulder slant. I'll go down by 3.5 as you can see me doing. Then I'll connect it to the end of it where my hand is pointing. So I'm going to connect that line to that point. I'll use my ruler, then I'll cut this out. You can see this upper side is equal while the down part is not equal. The back is longer than the front. So I'm just going to cut it out like so. After cutting, I'll drag the front to meet the back, just as you can see me doing in the video. So you can see I'm dragging the front to meet the back. So the upper side, you will see that there is excess there, which is the 4 inches excess. So you can see I'm just going to drag it and make sure it's aligned Then at this front part where you can see my hand touching this front part here, I'm going to be at the upper part of the front. I'll go downwards by half an inch. This half an inch mark I'm trying to create is a guide for me to fold the back on top of the front. So just watch closely and see what I do. So I'm not going to take half an inch like so. This mark I'm drawing is just a guide for me to place the back on top of the front so it will sit well. So I'm just going to use this as a guide. I'm just going to place my back on top of the front like so. Then I will give it a good press and iron the center point, the gator, to show very well. So I'm just going to use my pressing iron and mark it like so. So next is for us to take our sleeve opening. So it depends on how wide you want it to be. If you don't want it to be wide, you can just go with your normal sleeve opening, but I want it to be wide, so I use 11 inches. Then after doing that, I mark my half length for men are 17 inches, which is the waist point from the shoulder to the waist. For the men they call it tummy. So from the shoulder to the tummy part is 17 inches. So I'm just going to mark like so. Then after doing this, I'll take my round tummy measurements for the. Then if you want it shape, you can just use the exact measurement of your clients. But if you don't want it to be shaped, you want it to be free, you can just mark straight down. So for the tummy, the round tummy for this client is 46. 46 divided by 4. I'm just going to mark it like so and mark my accurate number. Then I'm going to add 1 inches, or let me use 2 inches sewing allowance, because I want it to be a bit shape. I don't want it to be too big or too free on the clients. So I'm just going to use my measuring tape and divide that figure by like so. Then I'm going to add 2 inches to it so that it won't be too free. Then I'll do the same thing to the chest. The chest is 50 divided by 2, 50 divided by 4, sorry. Then I'm going to add 2 inches to it. Then at the end point, I'll do the hip, 50 divided by 4, which will give me 15. Then I'm going to add 2 more inches to it. So you can see it's going to be shaped like so, but I don't want it to be too tight or too free to the clients. I'm just going to add extra 1 inches to it. So if you want it very big or want it bogus, you don't need to shape it, just connect it straight down. That's if you want it very bogus on your clients. So if you want it shape, take your exact shape measurements and add 1 inches sewing allowance, or 1.5 or 2 inches sewing allowance, depending on your preference. So for the neck point, I'm not going to cut that neck point. The embroiderer will be the one to do that. So I'll take it to the embroidery shop and he'll be the one to fix the neck and do the embroidery remaining work. So there's not much work to do here. It's a very simple dashiki tutorial. So I'm just going to fold this and leave the neck for the embroiderer to cut, but the armhole area I'll shape that part, then do the weaving at the shoulder points. After weaving everywhere, then I'm just going to sew the shoulder of the back and the front together, so it will be easy for the embroiderer to do the remaining job. So I'm just going to cut this out, add my 1 inch sewing allowance in case. So guys, that's the end of it. This is how it's going to look after cutting. So thank you so much for watching. So I'm going to be showing the sewing video and the embroidery work video. I'll leave the video in the description box so you can click the link and watch. So guys, thank you so much for watching and see you guys in the next video. Bye.